People who've been in a coma, what did it feel like? I was 32, working as a nurse at General Hospital when my whole life changed in 3 seconds. Some drunk driver ran a red light and slammed into my Honda Civic while I was driving home from a 12-hour shift. Next thing I knew, everything went black. But here's the thing nobody tells you about being in a coma. You're not really asleep. You're trapped inside your own head like you're buried alive, except instead of dirt, it's your own body keeping you prisoner. I could hear everything happening around me. Every single word, every footstep, every whisper. The first voice I heard was my mom crying, begging me to wake up. She kept saying how sorry she was for our stupid fight about me working too many hours. My dad was there too, trying to sound strong, but his voice kept cracking when he talked to the doctors about my medical bills. Week after week, I listened to them discuss selling my apartment to pay for my care. Mom would read me romance novels every Tuesday. Dad brought his radio and we'd listen to baseball games together, except he was the only one cheering. But the worst part started around month 2. That's when Jake, my boyfriend of 3 years, began bringing someone else to visit me. Her name was Vanessa. At first, I thought she was just a friend being supportive. Then one afternoon, I heard them whispering about how hard this was on him. She kept saying things like, "You can't put your life on hold forever, Jake." Maya wouldn't want that. Her voice was soft and sweet, like she really cared about my well-being. What a joke. By month 3, they weren't even trying to hide it anymore. They'd sit right next to my bed holding hands. I could feel the mattress shift when she'd lean against him. One time she actually kissed him while her hand was resting on my arm. I was screaming inside my head, trying to move my fingers, trying to do anything to let them know I was right there listening. The breaking point came during month 4. Jake brought her in late one night when he thought the nurses weren't around. They were talking about moving in together, about how he needed to let go and start healing. She said she'd help him pack up my things from his place so he could move forward. That's when I heard him say the words that shattered everything. Maya's basically gone anyway. The doctor said even if she wakes up, she probably won't be the same person. 5 months and 2 weeks after the accident, my eyes finally opened. The doctors called it a miracle. My parents were sobbing with relief, holding my hands and thanking God. The nurses were amazed at how quickly I was responding and how clear my speech was. Everyone kept asking how I felt, if I remembered anything, if I was in pain. I just smiled and said I felt grateful to be alive. I didn't tell them about the prison I'd been trapped in. I didn't mention the conversations I'd overheard. 2 days later, my parents told me Jake had ended things while I was unconscious because he couldn't handle watching me suffer. They said he'd moved across town and was seeing someone new, but they didn't want to upset me with details. It took me 6 weeks of physical therapy before I could walk normally again. The first place I went was Jake's new apartment. I knocked on the door and waited. When he answered, his face went completely white. "Maya, how did you? I thought you were still in rehab." I could see Vanessa behind him in the kitchen, wearing the apron my mom had given me for Christmas. She froze when she saw me. "I heard everything," I said calmly. "Every conversation, every kiss, every plan you made while you thought I was gone." Jake started stammering about how sorry he was, how he never meant for it to happen. Vanessa just stood there like a deer in headlights. "The funny thing is," I continued, "I spent 5 months thinking about what I'd say to you when I woke up, but now that I'm here, I realize you're not worth the words." I turned around and walked away. 2 weeks later, I heard they'd broken up. Apparently, guilt makes for a pretty shaky foundation.